Good morning, everyone. It is video 3 in this little series about the brokerage in real estate. So, we as agents in real estate choose the brokerage that we work for. We choose the broker we work under. And we have all of that power. We decide that. We decide where we place our business. We decide who our business is partnered with, in essence. Who do we partner with? I choose in my practice in real estate to partner more with a mortgage professional from RBC, Sabrina. She's highlighted on my new honkin' website. She's awesome because she's like me. She takes that time to explain things, to be able to explain product options, to be able to explain all kinds of different things, to be able to sit there and say, hey, there is this thing called an Improvements Plus mortgage. You should know about it at the very least. She takes that time. And my deals that are funded with RBC never fail. That's huge. You don't recognize how huge that actually is as a buyer. You don't sit there and say, gee, is there a difference on where I go to get my mortgage? Yes, the answer is absolutely yes. And I manage that if you're using a different brokerage, and that's pure hell sometimes. I've had to go over to CIBC Bank before and sit on the floor at the bank, literally, to get a deal to close. The manager was like, what in the heck are you doing on my floor? You said no, that you weren't going to help get this deal done because the person at the bank who was going to be funding the mortgage that day took the day off. And no, this deal's closing today. You have the power to go into her computer, create all the paperwork that's needed to get this deal done. And I am not leaving the floor of your bank until you do that. I've had to do that before for my clients. You don't know that. You don't really need to know that. You kind of know it now because I just told you. But those things happen. They just do. And a good realtor manages and corrals every piece of this transaction. It's what I do. Every piece of this transaction is corralled by me, is managed by me, is overseen by me. That's what my job is as your agent. Hey, can you make sure that while I'm out doing doctoring things or dentisting things or grass cutting things, that this whole deal is right on track? Absolutely, yes. It's what I do every single day. I communicate exceptionally well and manage all of the different pieces. So my brokerage, my entrepreneurial spirit does that. Not every brokerage does that. So who we choose to be our broker of record, real in my case, the fastest growing brokerage in Canada and the United States, hands down, I choose to place my business there. There's some very strong competitive advantages to do that. So agents here in Windsor have the right to move brokerages. They move all the time. Within 10 minutes, they might be at a different brokerage. Where we place our business and where we place our clients through matters. To me, at least, it does. And from a competitive advantage, knowing about the brokerage, because it's the brokerage sign that's on the lawn. So if I'm competing against another brokerage, there are brokerages here in Windsor that are owned by people who don't exactly have the client's best interests at heart. Without going into any more detail, you would have to do your own research in that. I can't point that out to you because they would be breaking RICO law or breaking RICO rule. But all of that data is out there for the public to be able to disseminate. Who owns this brokerage? And let me go to RICO and see what the past is of that particular person. Even though they're not your agent, does it matter? Yes, because the agent decides who they associate with. And I'm sorry, but if you're getting ready to hire an agent that associates with somebody that has a cloudy history of how they treat people, that agent is choosing to work with that person or to work underneath that person. And you don't have to choose that agent then, because you're actually choosing the brokerage. You're not choosing the agent. Your contract is with the brokerage. The brokerage has the sign in your front yard. So all of that stuff matters in a lot of ways. If you have a contract with a brokerage and you contract it with a brokerage and then all of a sudden you have problems, what weren't you told by that agent? That's where the problem is. Gee, I'm competing for your business. I don't really want to tell you about the guy that or the gal that I associate my business with because I might lose this business. So for me, I was associated with other brokerages before in my past. And I moved because I found out things about that particular broker that I didn't necessarily want to be associated with. There were just things that got the hair, the little bit of hair I have left, on the back of my neck to stand up. And so now at Real, I'm fully independent. I'm free of all of that baggage. I can just be Brian, which is a wonderful place to be. And I don't have to be paying for yachts at brokerages. I don't have to be paying for golf course houses at brokerages. I don't have to be paying for any of that stuff. Because that's what every broker is trying to do is, hey, wait a second, I'm running my business with agents underneath me so that I get a little piece of the pie so that I can afford my boat. I can afford to put fuel in it. I can afford to take it out. I can afford my waterfront house. They're entrepreneurs too, or they're trying to afford their lifestyle as well too. My lifestyle is pretty simple. It's all paid off. We're going to go on vacation here to Phoenix, and we were just looking at tickets now for anything are just massively expensive. And we know a person who's a dancer that we met on a cruise ship years ago, and he happens to be performing in Phoenix, and we happen to be going to Phoenix. So the tickets for this performance are $200 a piece, US. That's a hell of a lot of money. But we're going to go see the performance because he's a friend of ours and we want to support him. We've always supported him. It's going to be a blast to see him again. It's been years. And he has a very unique skill set that's just amazing. So it's Cinderella the musical in Phoenix, Arizona that we're going to go see. Because it's a vacation. It's time to go and do something. So who we associate with matters. I'm going back to that here. Trust me, folks. Bear with me for a second. So if I am working at a brokerage, XYZ brokerage, doesn't matter who it is, and the broker of record at that brokerage has an unsavory history, or if I'm working with that broker and they say things that just don't really align with me. And I'll give you an example. I was with a brokerage at one point in time, and in the meetings, there were jokes about classes of people who were just, that was completely inappropriate by the broker of record. And I wanted nothing to do with that person. I wanted nothing to do with that brokerage. I didn't want to help make money for that person. So I left them very, very quickly. And I had a really nice office there, wonderful window and all that stuff. Left it very quickly. And eventually the other agents left there too. And one of them called me and he said, it's amazing how you left so quickly. But my wife and I now understand why you left so quickly. And we've left too. And that's all the conversation we had. We didn't go into the details or any of that stuff. It was just inappropriate. You sit in a meeting and it's like, okay, those folks are laughing about this or chuckling about this. I just can't laugh about it. And you mean what you just said. Because words mean things. And those were mean things to say about people. I'm out. See you later. Bye. I choose that. I choose who I associate with in my practice in real estate. Another brokerage I was with, he was upset because I am a financial advisor. I'm a fiduciary. And he said, Brian, that's not really what I want in my practice in real estate. I don't want agents that have other incomes coming in. I want agents that are only focused and only starving to sell real estate. Okay, Mr. Broker, I don't have to be here. You can let me go since that's your position in your business, and I'll move to a different brokerage. So I moved to a different brokerage, and I thought I had found a home. I found a family-run brokerage. But then when I wanted to run my practice in real estate, I hit some brick walls. After the third year, or whatever year it was, I forget. So at the end of the day, the challenge was just that it wasn't the right fit any longer for me. So then I moved to Real because Real was brand new. And Real's definitely the place to be. My income at Real is higher. I get stock options for my retirement planning at Real. I can buy stock from my commission checks at Real. There's just so many different options that I have at Real. So that's why I associate with that brokerage. Who we associate with as agents is exceptionally important. And when I'm competing against another agent who is associated with a person that has a information flow, my potential client needs to know that association because they're signing a contract with the brokerage, not the agent. And that matters. Even though that person may be associated with a very well-known brokerage, oh my gosh, the name is like, wow. Doesn't matter. You get surprised when you do some of this research about who your competition is and some of the things that have not been necessarily savory in their past. And people need to know that. You need to know that. I am my own person too. There's pluses and minuses with working with me. And if you're sitting at the table with a different realtor who knows a little bit about me, they're going to say, Brian does all kinds of different things. Why would you want to hire him? But I really don't do all kinds of things. I stay very focused in the things that I do. And I have great people that I otherwise associate with, like my mortgage person, Sabrina, who's just awesome. She makes my job easy. So the brokerage is who your contract is with. You need to know that, and you need to be paying attention to that. And so that is a little bit more about the brokerage in real estate and on general terms. And it also gives you a little bit more data about me, why I'm with Real, my brokerage, and that's a good place to end for these first 3 videos, more or less about the brokerage. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.